First of all, I'd like to thank you all, our esteemed guests. In your attendance alone today, you are showing the people of Mogadishu and the people that are the victims of the bomb blast how much you care and how much they are not alone. As you all know, on the 14th of October, the streets of Mogadishu were shaken with a bomb blast that the likes of which Somalia has never seen, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in a very long time. Contrary to popular belief, Somalia is not used to terrorism of that magnitude. It is not used to violence of that magnitude, and it is not used to pain of that magnitude. It is said that within every household in Somalia, either members within that household have lost their lives, or they have family and friends, people they knew and loved, that lost their lives in the horrific bomb blast. So again, I would like to thank you all for attending today. We have a very exciting evening planned for you, with amazing speakers and honourable guests such as the Mayor, MP, local councillors, and many more. I hope that at the end of this evening, you leave inspired to do good, inspired to make a change. Without further ado, I'd like to kickstart the evening with a recitation of the Holy Quran by Sheikh Abdullahi.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we send blessings to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My name is Abdullah Afrah, and I'm one of the people who came here today to take part in this evening, what we are talking about, what happened in Mogadishu. I just came back from Mogadishu actually, and tonight I had to cancel really a lesson that I give in a mosque because of this meeting today, because I know what happened in there. Those who passed away now, they are more than 400 or 500. At the same time, the millions that live inside Mogadishu today, they are terrorized really. I was in there. I have been invited by many people who work for the government. What was happening is that we avoid to go where they are because they are targeted by those people who fight the government. I myself, I have a relative who passed away and died in the hotel of Safari. He was in there for a meeting and he was solving a problem for the community. While he was in that meeting, the explosion happened. Unfortunately, the people who did this, they think this is by the name of Islam. And this is away from Islam, has nothing to do with Islam what they did, these people. Even themselves, those who did, the government said the Shabab is behind this thing, but they were not able to say by themselves because they know what happened in there. Families, until today people are missing. Anyway, I don't want to take too long really. I myself has lost someone who was really, he invited me one night and I was with him and I didn't think that he will die soon like this. And I was lucky really, the days I was there nothing happened, but when I left and I went to Somaliland in Hargeisa, I heard that many problems happened. Anyway, I hope really Somalia to get peace. Thank you very much.
Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh Abdullahi, for reciting the Quran for us and for your strong words. And may Allah have mercy upon your relative, inshallah. So just to begin the event, we have Councillor Raqia from the Galboa Foundation, who's going to be doing the introduction and opening.
I would like to say thank you for everyone for coming to this event, and I wish we had a better day to be here together all, but I hope maybe there will be better days ahead. Terrorism it's not just happens in Somalia, it happens everywhere. We have had the last year 3 terrorism right here in England. We had London Bridge, we had Manchester, and then we had recently, unfortunately, had the Finsbury Park, a terrorist attack, which we sadly lost dear brother Magram Ali and many, many other victims, such as including my husband, who was a victim, unfortunately. I think what the Syrian people are doing is they're trying to divide us, but we will not be divided by greed of their horrible acts to young people, particularly where they brainwash and others. I think it's very, very important as a community that whether we are here in England or whether we are in Somalia or any other part of the world, which we all have relatives and connections, that we defeat them wherever they are. We are stronger than we are separate. What happened in the last almost 25 years in Mogadishu, there were one too many lives that's been lost, and one too many children without a father and without a mother. And I think what we need as a community, the Somali community, we have to come together and listen and settle our difference. Because what's happening is, in Somalia particularly, there is unfortunately, sadly, a foreign, what you call, people who are not Somalis and meddling Somali politics, and that's why Somalis are not sitting together. And I'm particularly talking to the men. I think we, as the Somali men, you need to settle the difference, and I'm directly telling this, particularly the Somali leaders back home in Somalia, who are the politicians. They should be worrying about the children, the next generation, because that's what we need to worry, is the next generation. What mindsets are we leaving behind? Every time there is a bomb blast, and every time there's a car blast, and there's young people losing dads and moms. And can you imagine what these young people are going to grow up? And I think as a Somali community, we have the chance, we have the opportunity to tell the next generation there's a better day, but that better days we need to be all shown through leadership. Without further ado, I would like to also thank Emily Thornberry. Emily Thornberry, who is the Labour Shadow Foreign Minister, and who can maybe shed a light bit about what's happening here in England and globally at the same time. Emily is somebody who is very special to us, who comes at moment's notice to come for the community to help. And at this particular time, Emily is very, very busy, as we all know. And I think it's very important we give her a round of applause for Emily. And Emily is somebody to watch out. She would be hopefully our next shadow minister, and maybe not long in the future she would be the first British Prime Minister female for the Labour Party. I would like to, you never know, it could happen, Emily. Also, I would like to introduce at this particular time Mayor Councillor Ona Holloway, and the Mayor of Islington. She is somebody very active and proactive, and whatever happens in the community, she is there for us. She is another minority like us. She may be not, you may not see her as a minority, but she is a minority, and she knows and she feels for all of us. So I'd like to welcome and thank you.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Galbur Foundation is very pleased to welcome you today and to host this event, which we need to show solidarity, support, and sympathy for the people who died in Mogadishu. On behalf of Galbur Foundation, I would like to pay my tribute to those innocent people and those who lost their lives in a such horrific and tragic way. May Allah rest them in peace in Jannah, inshallah they will. And I'm here to just welcome you and to show you how I am very happy to see you today, all of you here, to be part of us and to join us. And I hope you tonight to enjoy with us the rest of the evening. Thank you so much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Anigoo Jamaat Mohamed Abdi, Secretary of Galbur Foundation, waxaan aad ugu faraxsanaa maantay in aan hoosgarayno eventiga ama dhacdadan ka dhacda Muqdisho inaan tusno dadka sida aan uga xunnahay. Maanta waxaan aad ugu faraxsanahay inaan meeshaan ku qabanno Islington Town Hall ayadoo inala joogaan madaxdii deegaanka oo ka mid tahay mayorka Islington, leaderka ama council leaderka Richard Watts, Rakhia, and one of our Somali British councillor in Holloway Ward oo iyadana maasha Allah ila qaban qaabisay. Aad baan ugu faraxsanahay, waan u mahadcelinayaa. Waxaa kaloo nagala soo qayb galay local councillors kale iyo honorable Nuur Cadde madaxweynihii hore oo Soomaaliya iyo rag badan oo iyo haween badan oo Soomaaliyeed, dhalinyaro aad u fara badan iyagana qaarkood inta ku dhashay qaarkoodna dalka iyagoo yar laga keeno aad uga qiirooday. waxaa kaloo la jooga faamilada dadkii aad ugu dhaawacmay ama ugu dhibtooda ama ay ka soo gaartay jugta ama dhimashada familkooda ka soo gaaray. marka waxaan aad iyo aad ugu faraxsanahay in maanta ay toola aad nagala soo qayb gashaan idinkoo guryihiinii dadkooda iga soo tagay inaad dadka aad tustaan Soomaaliya dhibaatada maanta dadka qabsatay iyo waxyaalaha maanta aan weligeed hore loo maqal 400 iyo wax ka badan oo hal mar meel ku wada dhinto. waa murugo, waa xanuun, waan idinla qaybsanaynaa reer Muqdisho. anagana runtii waa naga soo gaartay dhibaato badan oo aan xagga physically ma ahan laakiin xagga mentally oo runtii aan taabanaysa markasta. marka aad baa u mahadsantihiin kasoo qaybgalkiina kasoo qayb gasheen, waan idinkaga mahadcelinayaa. wassalaamu calaykum waraxmatullahi wabarakaatu.
Thank you very much, Raqi and Jamad, for those great welcoming speeches. It's important for us to remember the points that they're trying to get across to us, the importance it is for our Somali leaders and us Somalis in general to think about the effects, this violence and this unrest is going to have on the following generations and the trauma that they go through on a daily basis, and how we as the Somali people that are in the diaspora and care about our people back home, we need to make a difference, inshallah. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Councillor Mayor Una O'Halloran.
I'm pleased to be here this evening as Mayor of Islington to show support and solidarity with the people of Mogadishu following the absolute terrible terrorist attack that took place on October the 14th. The number of people who were killed or injured is utterly disgraceful. On behalf of Islington, I want to send my deepest sympathies to the friends and families of all those that have been affected. Islington is proud to be home to many originally from Somalia and who have Somali heritage. You are our friends, our neighbours, our colleagues. Islington's strength comes from its diversity, and our Somali residents are absolutely at the heart of our community. Councillor Rakhia Ismail is a tremendous advocate for the Somali community in Islington, and I want to thank her personally for organising this event. This terrible attack comes in the same year as terrorism visited our own borough. With the terrible attack in Finsbury Park, we mourn Makam Ali, and the council continues to provide support to those injured or affected by that terrible terrorist attack. But that attack, which sought to divide us and bring hate to our community, had the exact opposite. We come together, we stood together, we work together, we support each other, and that's what we always do. So I just want to say to the people of Mogadishu and Somalia that we stand in solidarity with you and support, and thank you for inviting me today. Thank you.
And you're very correct in saying that whether the attacks happen here on this soil, if it happens back home, we must remain undivided and not let this terrorism and violence divide us. So thank you very much for that amazing speech. Next, I would like to ask the MP Emily Thornberry, who's kindly joined us today, to share some words with us.
Thank you. Can I begin by thanking you for inviting me here this evening? I think that it's very important that we in Britain pause and think about what it is that's been happening in Mogadishu. Because for too many British people, it's a long way away, in a country we know very little about, and people that we haven't met. And yet here in Islington, we are a different type of community. We are a community where we have people from all over the world, and a very important part of that community are those of Somali heritage. But you know, we should care anyway. If a bomb goes off in a city and 400 people are killed, why has there been so little publicity about it in the United Kingdom? Is it not disgraceful? If that had happened in France or in the United States or in Australia, there would have been a great deal of publicity about it. There would have been much more discussion. Is it that a Somali life is worth less than any other life? It certainly shouldn't be. And I'm very grateful to hear the testimony of Sheikh Omar explaining, you know, the anguish that he has gone through, and so many people from Mogadishu and with family in Mogadishu are going through, not just at the time, but since then, and the terror that is instilled in people when an outrage like this occurs. But of course we also know that it's not in isolation. Just 10 days after this terrible bomb went off, you know that there was another one, that there was another bomb that went off, that there was another shooting, that 23 people were killed in the next bombing that took place, and there was a mother and her 3 children and a baby amongst the dead, and they had all been shot through the head. What kind of people do this? What kind of perversion pushes people to behave in such a way to other human beings? I don't think that we can properly understand what can trigger behavior of this sort. But what we do know is that what they want to do is they want to frighten us, they want to divide us, they want us to no longer be one community, they want us to do their work for them by turning us upon one another because we are afraid. And they've tried this in the UK, as Una was saying, in our very borough, in our very beloved Finsbury Park. They've tried it in London Bridge, they tried it in Westminster, where I was working. You know, I was coming down the escalator into the very area and heard the shots, and the man who rammed Westminster and tried to kill members of Parliament. And what is the appropriate way of responding? There are many ways, and of course we need to find the cells, we need to find the people who inspire them, we need to root them out, and we need to make sure that we do it in a focused way. And that's important, and I'm not pretending for a moment that isn't important. But what's even more important is to remember what it is that they want to achieve and not let them achieve it. If they want to frighten us, if they want to divide us, we must be defiant, and we must not allow this to happen. We have to remain united. I was very struck by the clear assertion from Councillor Rakia Ismail. She is a remarkable woman, and I have personally found, I have never found a time when I don't feel that she speaks the truth. And so the challenge that she makes to the Somali community in Somalia and at home about ensuring that people remember that there is so much more that unites a community than divides it, and to wag her finger at the men in the way that she has. And it's correct, because in the end, we all breathe, we all bleed, we all love, we all want better for our families than we had ourselves. We want peace, we want unity. Whoever we are, wherever we are in the world, we have to remember that. And that is what keeps us human, and that is what is more important than anything else for all of us. And so this evening, as the Shadow Foreign Secretary as the spokesperson for the opposition for the Labour Party in foreign affairs, but also as the MP for many Somalians, of whom I am incredibly proud to be so. I send you solidarity and I send you my love.
Thank you very much for that heartwarming speech, Emily. And as you guys can see tonight, the theme is quite obviously unity. It's being undivided. And it actually reminds me of, I think this is like a Somali story, or I've seen it on YouTube, and my mom used to tell me it growing up. But there was a man who was a nomad, so he was from the Baldio, and he sat his kids outside his tulot. So it's like a little village outside of the city, and he asked them all to bring a stick each, and he told them to break their stick individually, and they managed to break it without any difficulties. And then he asked them to bring another stick each, and he brought all the sticks together, and they tried to break them as one, as in all the sticks were all stacked up together, and then they tried to break them, and they were unable to break them. And he told them that alone you'll be broken, but stand together and you will never fall. So I think that's a good message from tonight. So just to carry on, our next speaker is Abdul Razak Sharif. He's from the charity African Development Trust, and he's going to be telling us about what actually happened on the 14th of October, and he'll be describing the carnage in more detail. So if you could all welcome Abdul Razak Sharif to the stage.
Madam Maya of Islington, thank you, Chairwoman. Honorable Nur Hassan Hussein, Nur Adde, the former Prime Minister of Somalia. Honorable Emily Thompry, MB, the Shadow Foreign Secretary, councillors and distinguished guests. I'm thankful for the organizers for organizing this very important solidarity gathering for the people of Mogadishu and Somalia. As you know, last month the people of Somalia, particularly Mogadishu, suffered another brutal terrorist attack by the terrorist group Al-Shabaab, targeting civilians in a very busy market in the capital Mogadishu. The attack was one of the deadliest tragedies terrorists executed in recent years. As the federal government confirmed, more than 400 people were killed, including 56 people who are not counted for. And more than 228 people are injured. The financial and the property loss is so massive, and the assessment is still going on. It was a genocide which shattered many hopes, orphaned more than 2,700 children, and destroyed many families. It affected all Somali communities, including British citizens living here in Islington and other parts of the country. Many people lost family members, and many beloved family members are still missing their loved ones and lost assets as well. These victims need support, immediate financial support to treat injured people, and emotional and psychological support. The government of Somalia, as you know, do not have the capacity to provide all needed support, so they need our support and assistance. Killing, maiming, torturing people in the name of Islam, but it's not what Islam allows, is the only thing they get from these terrorist groups. These terrorist groups are trying to impose their evil ideology by force and terror. Terrorists are distorting the truth of Islam and Muslim religion. They are taking advantage of the weakness of the federal government and the divisions in the Somali community to advance their evil agendas. To defeat these terrorist groups, all Somalis must unite against them. and the international community should give full support to Somalia government to free the country from these barbaric and murderous groups. We pay tribute to all brave people of Somalia and the emergency service teams. They have done extremely well despite lack of equipment and funds, and the many international communities who provided immediate medical support for the injured and the wounded victims. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and with their friends, families, and loved ones. I urge all the people of Somalia to come together, and I sincerely believe that we can resolve this problem unitedly. Let's get united and stand together to defeat these brutal killers. They are murdering our mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, and sons, and daughters, and other people or guests who are in the country. We, ADT, will stand together with you all and provide whatever support we can. We appreciate any support for those children, mothers, and families who lost everything in the tragedy. Thank you for listening, so much for listening.
Thank you so much for that enlightening speech, Abdul Razak. And I think we'd all agree here that the carnage that occurred in Mogadishu was something that shocked us all, and it's something that we're probably all still shocked about. I remember on the day that it happened, when I first saw it on the news, I saw it on my Twitter feed, and he said, there's been a bomb in Somalia, and I thought, again, and it was saying something like 7 people dead so far, and I at the time I didn't think anything of it, because unfortunately we've become so desensitized to attacks in Somalia. And then I just saw the numbers grow and grow and grow, and one of my close friends found out that her father was injured in the attack. And then I called my mother, and she told me her cousin died in the attack, and they can't find his body at all, not even any remains. And that's when it really hit me. That could have easily been us. We're lucky to have been here rather than being over there. And a lot of the victims need our support now. As Abdul Razak was saying, a lot of the people that died in the attack were the sole providers for their families. And now their families are struggling not only with the mourning of their family member, but also struggling to make ends meet. So it's important that we all come together and we unify, and not only with words, but also with actions, and we support our people back home. So just to move on now, I'd like to invite Mohammed Kosbar from the Finsbury Park Masjid onto the stage. If you could all give him a big hand.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Peace be upon you all. I've just been asked to say a few words on behalf of the Finsbury Park Mosque and the community over there. What I just want to say that Somalia has been suffered for quite a long time. Now maybe 30, 40 years. If we remember, since the dictatorship over there, and after that, the famine which happening quite often over there, and recently civil war and terrorism. And I'm sure the people of Somalia, whether they are in Somalia or elsewhere, where they had to flee their country to find a better life, I'm sure that all of them want this to end. They fed up with this. They want to live as any ordinary people elsewhere in the world. They suffered a lot, and unfortunately, the new generation now are suffering. As we all know, Somalia is more than 70% of the population are young people, under 25 years old. So imagine what these young people will look to this world and see where their future is. It's a very dark future they can see. And this is something which we all have to reflect and try to support as much as we can. As a community here in the UK, we know that, alhamdulillah, the Somali community is one of the biggest community for the Muslim for the Muslims here in the UK. And in particular here in Islington, they are the biggest community here in Islington. And they contribute quite a lot, not just only to the Muslim community, but to the wider society as well, through their businesses, charities, and so on. They contribute quite a lot. And as a community and as a mosque, we care about all communities and about what's happening all over the world. As we cared about our brothers and sisters in Iraq, in Syria, in Palestine, in elsewhere, we care about our brothers and sisters in Somalia as well. And we feel with them when they suffer. This is why we raised, after this horrible attack, which, by the way, our Imam Omar Mahmoud, he lost his brother in this attack recently, and he had to go back to Somalia to try to comfort his old mother. It's over 70 years old, and she's in shock because her oldest son being killed by this attack. And he's still there. He hasn't come back yet. And this is it's our Imam, the Imam of the mosque. So I can imagine how many families suffer the same. So it's very important to stand with them. And this is what we've done in Finsbury Park Mosque, alhamdulillah. We raised around £3,000 in the last couple of weeks, which we gave it to the charities who work on the ground and do a great job in the ground in Somalia and Mogadishu. So what I just want to say, keep doing the good work. And the new generation of Somalia, you have a big responsibility. Your responsibility is to have a decent life here and to have a good education so you can go back and rebuild your country. God bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much for that message of solidarity, Mohammed. It's always nice and comforting to see other members of our community supporting us in our time of need. Okay, so now I'd like to invite Councillor Kaya Koma Schwartz to the stage. Thank you very much. Everybody give her a round of applause, please.
First of all, I would like to start by thanking Councillor Rakia Ismail, not only for putting together this evening, but also for her dedication over many years to supporting our thriving community of Somalian people in Islington. The terrorist attack in Mogadishu is clearly and nothing short of beyond despicable. It was a cowardly act on innocent people. Sadly, civil war and terrorism are not new to Somalia, but this terror attack was one of the worst seen in the world in decades. And I think reflecting on some of the numbers that we've heard tonight, when we bandy around numbers like 523, they become, in a way, too overwhelming for us to comprehend. But then when we talk tonight about cousins, brothers, relatives, you start to empathise really from the heart, and I can't imagine what these people are going through. And so it is wonderful to be able to open up the town hall tonight and share a moment of solidarity and empathy with you all. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. But I have to say also how proud I am of the Somali community in Mogadishu and in here for the overwhelming response you have given. I mean, to read straight after the attack, many members many people in Mogadishu donated blood straight away, helped out those who were wounded at the scene. And similarly, in the UK, you all rallied together to help one of each other and sent lots of support and aid to your families back home. And, in the face of adversity, to have that clarity and strength is something to be immensely proud of. The UK government must continue to do all that it can to support people in Somalia, both by helping out in stamping out terrorism, but also making sure that there is enough aid available to people who need it. I am so proud that Islington is a home for such a vibrant and thriving Somalian community. You make a huge contribution to this borough. And I am proud that our borough has been able to welcome the refugees from your community. And I'm also proud that we have been able to work together to become one Islington. Unfortunately, as many of our speakers tonight have spoken about already, we know that terrorism now is never far from any of our minds, and we have seen it earlier this year in the Finsbury Park attack. But again, even though, this is something that happened in a month of Ramadan when people were walking home from prayers, I can't imagine the shock that something like that could happen in such a holy and religious time for you. Once again, the exemplary behaviour of that community, it was amazing, not only helping out at the scene, but to come and break bread with Councillor Mayor Una O'Halloran that very evening was amazing. I can't put into words. I couldn't believe that something so terrible had happened the night before, and there you all were, breaking your fast and talking about love and unity. So we know that regardless of where we start off from, we in Islington are one community, and we stand firmly with you to support you in Somalia, but also here. We cannot let hatred and terror behind whatever pretend ideology it hides break us for 1 second. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kea, for that very strong message of solidarity and very uplifting message of unity. It is said that the litmus test of the community's morality is how they treat their weakest. So let's come together today and do what we can to help those that are the victims of this attack, those that have been directly affected in these attacks. And you can do so by pledging some money. We have pledge forms just outside the doors right at the back. And please do what you can to help those that need you in this time of need. Okay, so next up we have Ibrahim Osman from the Somali Advice and Development Center. If we could give him a big round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for Galbur Foundation and Councillor Raqia for inviting me to this great event, Solidarity with Mogadishu. I was asked to do the topic, which is the threat of Al-Shabaab to Somali state. It's not that Al-Shabaab is a threat to Somali state. It's a threat to every human being. It's a threat to every Somali, wherever they are. But before I go, to Al-Shabaab threat, it's important that we have to ask, why are we very vulnerable to the likes of Al-Shabaab? What caused the vulnerability that Somalis have today in the face of Al-Shabaab? And that comes to the state collapse of Somalia. As we all know, our presence in the West, and particularly in UK, was caused by a total political failure back home 30 years ago. We know what caused that political failure. The reason why Somali state collapsed. So when we understand that and how we can work together in order to revive our state back, the likes of Al-Shabaab and the manifestation of Al-Shabaab and the others and any other vulnerabilities will always be there. We know when we talk about collapse, and every Somali is fully cognizant of that, we all know that. The issue of state formation didn't take place that much in Somalia. It's always said by the historians that the early years of Siad Barre was the time Somali state has had a good state formation. And the later years, it was undoing of every good thing that the state has done. And we came to the point where there was a total state and social implosion. There have been efforts that were made in order to revive Somali state. And we all understand from Arta National Peace and conference to the current state we are in, where we have got a government. So I just want to mention, what are the major obstacles to Somali state formation today? And unless we genuinely discuss that, the problem will stay. I've got these points. It's the deep clan and factional divisions we have, and we don't discuss about that. It's the absence of a genuine national reconciliation, which is both inter and intra-clan reconciliation. We all understand that today, in order for anyone to have a political existence, the basic unit of political existence is a nation state. And we Somalis, we felt for the past 30 years that we could exist without having a strong nation state. And the manifestations are the worst. It's a Hobbesian world. Like when we are in a state of nature, the life is short, poor, and nasty. We have seen the worst. If it's famine, radicalization, extremism, clan war, warlordism, piracy, you name it, every evil that's possible has been embodied. And we can attribute that because we haven't agreed to live in this modern world as a unified political entity. That is the problem. Then we can come to why Al-Shabaab is there. We can talk about how we can have a solution to that problem. In Somalia today, the emergence of Shabaab, if we ask that genuine question, what has paved the way for Al-Shabaab to emerge? It was, as I said, because we were not ready. We didn't have the guts to say, yes, let's put our differences aside and be fully unified as citizens, not citizens for a clan, but citizens as a national citizens. We know Al-Shabaab. They told us who they are. We know the ideology that informs their actions. And it is barbarity beyond, there is no language to describe a barbarity. When someone can murder a child 2 years old, there is absolutely no moral inhibition whatsoever. So one thing we can all understand is that ideology doesn't have anything to do with Islam. When Prophet, peace be upon him, was described, how was he described? He was a mercy to humanity. And that was embodied in the time of Prophet. And that's the Islam we believe. But the ideology that informs, the ideology that underpins their outlook has got nothing to do with Islam. But what do we do as a Somali people in order to combat their ideology, and second, to engage conventionally to defeat them militarily? It is the apathy that we have as a nation not to do that fight. We know today the National Army of Somalia is very fragile and it's not equipped to fight against Al-Shabaab. So the security of Mogadishu and the security of the majority of the regions in southern Somalia is dependent upon the peacekeeping troops from African Union. We are supported. Can you imagine a nation whose national army is not Somali? One thing we can do is, this is the ideology. They have got AQ narrative, which is similar to IS narrative. It is total nihilism and barbarism. Their theological justification is based on Salafi jihadism. It's not the Salafi normal. This, if anyone can read, it is an anathema to the normative understanding of Islam. It is a justification of horror, a justification of terrorism in order to weaken the will of the people. I mean, some people may say we need to engage them and open a dialogue with them. They don't have a political agenda to talk to them. I mean, issues they have is, it is ruthless and suffocating a theocracy. I rule you. I don't discuss you the understanding of Islam. Islam has got a civilization, a history that produced the greatest jurisprudence and theology. Islam, 1,000 years ago, we know the way that Islam has protected the intellectual heritage of humanity. But the Islam that Al-Shabaab and their likes call for it is exclusively that they are only Islam and they don't want to discuss with you. So one thing that I want to tell the Somali diaspora, especially British Somalis in UK, what is our role? How can we defeat Al-Shabaab? How can we, find a solution to the problems we have? We have to ask serious fundamental questions. Why are we divided? Why can't we have a real reconciliation, a clan level, and put our differences aside? The current Somali leadership, there's a word I want to say to them. We need them to come up with a plan. We need them to come up with a narrative that transcends clan divisions, a narrative that can create a healing, a national healing for people who are divided. That's what we really need. Al-Shabaab, as you know, Somalia has been in war. There was a liberation war against the colonial powers. There's a clan warfare, warlordism. What Al-Shabaab has done in terms of the havoc it wreaked and the number of Somalis that it killed, there is no match. If it is in terms of the greatest Muslim scholars in Somalia, if it is the scholars, the intellectuals, the business people, the politicians, young people, innocent people, the number of Somalis that Al-Shabaab massacred and the carnage it caused, there is no match, absolutely. It's unprecedented. And still there is no resolve to fight against them. You see that picture is a great sheikh called Sheikh Ahmed Haji Abdul Rahman. He was murdered by Al-Shabaab in Bosaso. You see the second picture, a well-known Sheikh Abdul Qadir Gami, murdered in Garowe. The other picture, it is the bombing of Shamo graduation ceremony, the first cohort of young Somalis who graduated from medical college in Mogadishu. It was the greatest effort that the Somalis in Mogadishu made, and the day they were celebrating, Al-Shabaab made it a target to eliminate them and kill them. There, 5 Somali ministers were murdered. It's the complete lack of moral inhibition. I mean, their moral compass is horrible. Look, the other picture. You know the well-known Somali musician and artist and politician as well, a well-known MP, Saad Ali Warsame. Go, all walks of life. See the other picture? A well-known activist from Islington community that everyone knew. Mahmoud Muhammad Goure, who was very active supporting the local community, very active in discussing everything, educating, informing people, murdered in his hotel. When he went there, he said, I'll have to contribute to the rebuilding of my country. I had enough to live in the West. I learned a lot. My people need me today. And he was murdered. Look, the other well-known politician who was murdered with him, Abdullahi Jama Kabawaini. I mean, we cannot count the number of Somalis murdered by Al-Shabaab. A couple of weeks ago, we lost a great politician who was a resident in Ealing Borough, well-known in London, ex-minister and ex-MP, murdered. Every time we hear a suicide attack, the cream of the people are wiped out. So we have to fight, we have to know the genesis and the way their narrative is framed. We have to be able to puncture their assertions and theologically engage, try to de-radicalize people who are radicalized. I mean, that is the work we have to do. We can't just stay, idle and say Somalia, will one day be well. Who will make it well? We run when our state failed. Where did we run to? Countries that have got a strong state institutions, where democracy and humanity is respected. Why can't we become envious and build our country again? The reason why we came here today was the carnage of Mogadishu. And that carnage is one of so many carnages, and it will continue. I have seen so many people who deal with that carnage as a natural calamity. It wasn't a natural calamity, a man-made, premeditated, and guided by evil idea. Are we ready to fight back? Are we ready to help our people? They will stay helpless. We can engage humanitarian aspect, but the problem can be dealt with once and for all if we look at political aspect and the rebuilding of the institutions, and that is what we need. Thank you very much.
I would like to welcome you all here to Islington Town Hall. You're all extremely welcome here. This town hall is a place where we as councillors sit and make big decisions about the future of our borough, but it is also a place for all of the communities represented by Islington to come together, because this is a place that belongs to everyone. So everyone is very welcome here indeed. I'd like to thank you all for organising this very important event this evening. I'd like to thank Councillor Rakia Ismail for the incredible job she does in representing not just all of the people of Holloway Ward, but also the Somali community in Islington. And Rakia, thank you very much indeed for everything that you do. But let me start, though, by paying tribute to those who've lost their own lives, lost loved ones, or knew people who were injured in the appalling attack in Mogadishu. Clearly, the cancer of hatred that leads to attacks like this it thrives all around the world at the moment. It feels a very dangerous world. And clearly what happened in Mogadishu was appalling, and we utterly, all of us, I know, absolutely condemn it. But the cancer of hatred operates in this country as well, and we had our own hate-driven attack here in Islington over the summer, where Brother Makram Ali and some of the worshippers at Muslim Welfare House were hit by a far-right terrorist in this country. And we send our best wishes to the family of Makram Ali, but also to the many people, including the people in the Somali community, who were affected by that attack too. Whatever the twisted nature of the ideology or the religion that the people who commit attacks like this claim that they are speaking with, we know, as people who know this community, that the people committing these attacks don't speak in the name of Muslims or Christians or Jews or Hindus or whoever it is. They speak in the name of hatred, and hatred is something that we have to all to get together to fight. And so in that spirit, I want to particularly say everyone is very welcome here today as we fight back against the hatred that is so disfiguring many of our communities in this country and abroad as well. But I'll tell you a thing that gave me real hope, which was after that attack in Finsbury Park, the response across Islington and across the surrounding areas was incredible. People came together of all backgrounds, of all faiths, of all colours, of all ages, to say they believed in a community in which everyone was welcome, in which everyone had a place, in which the real problems in our community about a lack of homes, a lack of jobs, a lack of opportunities for our young people, about people not feeling safe, aren't caused by differences of religion or faith or background. And it was that strength of that community for so many people in our community to come together to share iftar at Finsbury Park and at mosque straight after that attack was, I think, a real statement of the strength of our community, and I want to thank everyone involved in that. And I know many people here today were involved in that movement, just to say that Islington, and in fact all of London as a great world city and all of this country, is stronger together than we are trying to break apart. And the terrorists who committed that atrocity in Finsbury Park failed to split our community apart. In fact, they strengthened our community. And I would want exactly the same thing to be true in Somalia as well, because what the terrorists want is for that to spread hate, and our response to that has to be to spread love. And I think that is the most important thing that all of us can do in response to these atrocities. Islington is a diverse place. It's a place of many problems, but it's a place of many opportunities. And what really matters to us as a council is ensuring that we get decent homes built so that everyone in our community, including the Somali community, can get the homes they deserve, is in getting good jobs for our communities, is in getting good schooling opportunities for all of our young people, and is getting good job opportunities for everyone in our borough as well. And I think talking to people of Somali background, that's what they want. They want the confidence their kids will get a better life than they've done. But that's what everyone from every other community wants as well. And I'll finish by saying this. Yeah, my kids go to their local primary school. They've got friends from every single background. My eldest son, who is 9, has got friends from, he's got friends who are Somali, he's got friends who are Algerian descent, he's got a friend who's got dad is Danish and his mum's Scottish, and he's got a friend who's of Jewish descent, and they all get together and they play together because they like running. And what brings them together is that they like running, because they're 9-year-old boys and running is what they do. And it's that sense of what unites us, and that's a small example of what unites us being so much stronger than what divides us. And in a place like Islington, where there are so many people with so many different backgrounds, where we have to all get on together, that it's the strength of events like this, where we can welcome you all to this town hall and say you are very welcome, but we can work together as a community, is why it's so important that we can come together. So my solidarities and my very best wishes to anyone here who was affected by the attack in Mogadishu. We stand with you. But also, my best wishes to everyone in this room who's doing such great work in communities in Islington and across London to make London a better city. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Richard Watts, for that heartwarming message of solidarity. We really do appreciate your kind words. So next up on the agenda is actually myself. So I'm the host and I'm introducing myself. Next up, I'd like to introduce Huda Khalif, who is a part-time poet and who will be sharing a short piece with you guys. So I hope you guys will enjoy it. This is a letter to the motherland. Dear Somalia, Dalki Hoyo, I wish to be welcomed home. I wish to be amongst your queens and sit upon your earthly throne. I wish to push aside the soil to find my roots and plant the seeds that deserve to be sown. I wish to water your plants and nurture your trees and care for the trees that deserve to be grown. To be amongst those that stir the air, to bring the wind of change that needs to be blown. To completely overthrow this Western reality and to completely overthrow this Western reality and replace you with everything that I have ever known. I wish to enter your warm embrace, and your beauty I wish to be shown. Dear Somalia, dalkii hooyo, I wish to be welcomed home. But we have done you so very wrong, and truly I am so very sorry. Even though you deserve more than a meaningless apology, you deserve men and women ready to shoulder responsibility. You deserve people that can live side by side without any hostility. You deserve people that can work together with honor and with nobility. For it seems that somewhere along the way we lost that very ability. I am sorry. For it is us that wield the knife, that cut you up into pieces and parts. We set you up in flames and walked away, but we left you with our hearts, in hopes that we return in the wake of the ashes as the smoke departs, in hopes the day will come when we can remember our culture and our arts. Dalkii hooyo. Only you can understand the hardship we put you through and the struggles that we left you in. We can pretend to understand, but as the saying goes, nin adra shay kuma dallin. For our ignorant ideals and our false pride, we have slain your children and fallen into much sin. With our obsession with our tribes, we are running a race that we can never win. Over the name of a long-dead ancestor, we shed the blood of our kin. Ninki nol wahwalbu arki perfectly describes this crazy world that we live in. Dalkii hooyo, I wish to morph my dreams into reality and to take away your pain. But first we must remember our Lord, He who is closer to you than your jugular vein. I wish to walk amongst your stock of sheep and feast upon the milk that the camels contain. I wish to walk along your shore and trip over your rocks. I swear that I would never complain. I don't wish to see the cracks in your earth as the clouds hold back every single drop of rain. We bathed you in our blood, but still expect from you your grain. Disobedient to our Creator, yet we still expect Him to sustain. Dalkii hooyo. How much more of this can you really take? I know that you are feeling the strain. We need to remember your value, your worth. We need to stop giving our country away. We are the ones that need to reign. Together, once and for all, from all the hatred we need to abstain. Dear Somalia, dalkii hooyo, I wish to apologize once again. Thank you very much. So thank you very much. Next up we have Paul from Standing Up to Racism. So if you could give Paul a big hand. Thank you very much.
I represent Stand Up to Racism in Islington, and I cannot express the level of sympathy and condolence that we would like to convey from Stand Up to Racism to the Somali community. What you have suffered in Mogadishu is truly terrible, and on a lesser scale we have also suffered this in Islington, and we all want to see the end of terrorism. It is a foul and terrible thing, and people suffer hideously for it. But I think that what Jeremy Corbyn said during the election campaign is relevant, that if we want to see the end of terrorism, then I think we also have to see the end of intervention in countries across the world, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Libya, whether it's Afghanistan, and I would also say in Somalia. I think that the United States and that the African Union have no right to be in your country, and we hear the wonderful poem from our chairperson here, and what I think is that her aspirations, what she has so beautifully conveyed to us, are best put into deeds if Somalians are left to decide for themselves what happens in Somalia. That is the way, in my opinion, to get rid of terrorism. But I speak for Stand Up to Racism as well, and what we are trying to do for a winter appeal on the 9th of December is that we are sending a convoy to Calais. This is our way of saying we reject the Islamophobia that unfortunately is spreading both in this country and across Western Europe. And we want to stand by our brothers and sisters who are refugees in Northern Europe. There are children living in ditches. There are women and men who are living in woods, who are constantly being harassed by the French police, and we need to send them shoes and clothes and coats, both as a simple act of humanity, but also as a way of saying that whatever our ethnicity, Muslim and non-Muslim, will stand by our brothers and sisters who have been driven to seek a better life from the parts of the world that are suffered so terribly at the moment. So I would respectfully request everybody here to consider supporting the Winter Appeal. You perhaps can see me afterwards. You can go to the Stand Up to Racism website, and I think, in a way, the best way to remember the slaughter and the carnage in Mogadishu is to all of us to unite to build a better world which respects the rights and religions of everybody who live in it. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you very much for the organizers, and specifically Jamaat, who invited me, and all of you who came here to share with us your views and the endorsement and support. One of the Somali scholars and novelists known, Nuruddin Farah, said, I discovered in my travels that when it rains in Mogadishu, Hargeisa, Bosaso, Baydhaba, and Beledweyne, the umbrellas in Minneapolis, London, Rome, and others are up. The meaning is everything happening in Somalia, anywhere in Somalia, can be felt in diaspora, including London and these main cities in the West. And I could say that the other side also is true, or vice versa. What's happening in London or in Toronto also, it's felt in Somalia. In that sense, the Somali diaspora, or specifically British Somali people, are very influential, and they can contribute to the peace building and stability of Somalia in many ways. But I would indicate...
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Nuruddin Farah wuxuu yiri haddii roobku uu mataqaanaa ka da'o Muqdisho ama Hargeysa ama Boosaaso ama Baydhaba ama Beledweyne, ambareelada ama dallada roobka la isaga giriya waxaa laga qaataa London ama Toronto ama magaalooyinka mainka ah ee Yurub. Macnuhu waxaa weeye saamaynta ayaa laga dareemayaa dagaal iyo wanaagba wixii ka dhaca Soomaaliya, wejiga Soomaalida qurba joogta yaad subaxa ka akhrisan. haddii wanaag uu dhaco oo madaxweyne farmaajo la doorto ayagoo farmaajo iigeeyalaad wada arki, haddii dagaal uu ka dhaco gaalkacyana waxaad arki wejiyadooda aad ka akhrisan. anna waxaan leeyahay the opposite is true. sidoo kale diasporada awood iyo power bay ku leedahay mataqaanaa gudaha. waxaa ka dhaca London waxa uu saameyn ku leeyahay mataqaanaa waddanka gudihiisii. sidoo kale waxaa ka dhaca Toronto iyo Melbourne oo aan anigu mataqaanaa joogi jiray, saameyn bay mataqaanaa ku leeyihiin. haddaba dhowr qodob baan rabaa inaan ishaaro oo la xiriira qaabka qurba joogta ay uga qayb qaadan karto dib u dhiska waddanka ama peace building in rebuilding in Somalia. One of them, Soomaalida waxay tiraahdaa tiisa daryeele ayaa mid kale ku dara. waxa ugu wanaagsan oo waddankaaga ku caawin karta horta waa inaad wax noqoto meesha aad adigu joogto, inaad khibro iyo skill yeelato iyo xirfad aad ku shaqaysato, aqoon inaad yeelato, saaxiibo iyo isku xir iyo networkna waa inaad yeelato. haddii intaa midna aadan ahayn adiga naftigaaga culays nolosha ku ah, wax weyn nama soo kordhinaysid. laakiin markaad wax noqoto ood shaqaysato ood khibro yeelato ood waddankii wax geyn karto, markaasaad lafahaagana anfici, qoyskaagana aad anfici, dariskaaga xaafadaha aad kaga nooshahay London aad anfici, waddankan UK-na aad anfici, Soomaalina markaas aad anfici. marka qofku gadaha isugu noqdo wax la yiraahdo inna an outer resource ha sameeyo, gudihiisa awood buu Ilaahay siiyey iyo awood bannaankaba uu ka kasban karo. qodobka labaad ama qodobkaas haddaan wax yar ku sii daro, waxaynu ognahay Muqdisho ama gobolka Banaadir ambulance bas ka jirta, wiil waxaa sameeyey la yidhaahdo doctor cabdiraxmaan aadan wuxuu wax ku bartay Pakistan laakiin waxbarashadiisii iyo xirfadiisii waxay keentay only ambulance ka shaqeysa Muqdisho iyo Banaadir isaga inuu sameeyo. Imagine haddii wiilkaas skill iyo xirfad uusan lahayn maanta Muqdisho muxuu ku beerin lahaa waxba kuma beeriyeen. Aniga xaaskaygu waladkii waan tagnaa Muqdisho Boosaaso Hargeysa arrimaha nabadan ka shaqeynaa waxaanu aragnay dhalin badan oo ka tagtay Leicester London qaarkood sameeyeen school Ilays Academy qaarkood hospitals ay sameeyeen qaarkood shaqooyin ay abuureen. Marka peace-ka iyo waxa la yiraahdo development-igu waa lacagta labadeeda wajimo kala maarmaan haddaad shaqo abuurto ama hal cunug aad ka bixiso iskuulka iyo mataqaana fiiga nabadda qayb ka mid ah ayaad mataqaana dhisaysaa. Marka aynu u fikirro sida cabdiraxmaan aadan oo kale hudo oo kale ka soo qaad waa dhakhtarad baa la igu yiri say wax u rangarayna waan u jeednaa. Imagine markay graduate garaysa waddankiisa ay u anfacayso marka aynu horta wax noqonno ka labaad UK baynu ku noolahay fursad qiimo badan weeye waddan dhaqamo kala gedsan ay inaan ku noolahay waxay ina siinaysaa wax la yiraahdo sense of tolerance ama acceptance inaynu aqbalno ummadaha iyo dhaqamada kala gedsan inaynu develop garayno wax la yiraahdo sense of dialogue and negotiation ummad kale marka la dhaqmayso oo ka gadisan sida ummad loola dhaqmo dhibaatada loo xalliyo loo wada hadlo dadka ka gadisan loo aqbalo in fact even accommodation loo sameeyo loo soo dhaweeyaan baranaa. Soomaaliya dhibka ugu badan ama waxa la yiraahdo root cause of the Somali problem waxa kamid ah sense of tolerance waa inagu yaryahay ama inaan is aqbalno ama dad kale aan aqbalno waxaynu nahay waxa la yiraahdo monocultural society ummad hal dhaqan leh hal luqad hal diin oo ku faari jiray in fact dhibaatay inagu noqotay waxaan inagu strength iyo awood u haysanay waa weakness waa marka in wadamadan waxyaalo badan ka baranno dhaqanka noocaas aynu la tagno maraan hotel Ramadan la yiraahdo Muqdisho aan deganaa waxaan weydiiyay qurba joogta maxaad ku aragteen oo dhaliila ama wanaaga marka wiilashii cuntada qaybinaya waxay dhaheen qurba joogtu waa dad mataqaana qosla waa dad hadalkoodu dabacsan yahay dad dhib yar weeye marka waxa soft power waa peace building the heart of peace building attitude ka noocaas marka la tagto oo qofka cuntada ku tahay aad mahadsanid tiraahdo oo wajiga mataqaana aad u qosasho nabadii baad mataqaana dhisaysaa qodobka ku sii xiga waxa la yiraahdaa peace is only possible through partnerships nabaddu waxay timaadaa markaad calaaqaad iyo xiriir samayn karto caalamka aad soo xiri karto Soomaali gudaheedii dadka kala gedisan aad isku soo jiidi karto marka wadamadaasna iskiilka noocaas aan ka baranaa marka wadankan waxyaalo badan baa laga faa'iideysan bridge baa noqon karaa ama buunda isku xirta Soomaaliya iyo UK Europe iyo Soomaaliya buunda isku xirta ayaynu mataqaana noqon karaa company la qaadi karaa dadka international foreigners-ka lagu mataqaana dhiirigelin karaa inay wadanka maal gashadaan inay tagaan waxyaalaha qurba joogta leh waa skill Ilaahay ina siiyay fursadan hal laga faa'iideysto taana hal la sameeyo waxaan ku soo gabagabayn wax la yiraahdo advocacy meesha uu qofku joogo waa in uu asagoo jooga wadankiisa wax ka taraa waxaan noo timid probable potential foreign minister ay noo timid dhawr mataqaana council ayaa noo yimid marka dawladana ku noolahay oo UK in advocacy laga sameeyo oo any single aspect of Somalia khuseeya in advocacy laga sameeyo la xiriiro meelaha Soomaalidu ay ku badan tahay in biyada laga soo doorto in culays la saaro ishuuyada Soomaalida la raise gareeyo dad noocaas oo advocacy sameeya waa in mataqaana la inaga helaa marka adigoo meeshan joogta ayaad wax weyn qaban kartaa rather than intaad xagga aado oo aad qaadato taa iyo siyud adoon waxba ahayn inaad siyaasadda gasho wax burburiso waxa ka war halka inaad ku dhiso marka intaas aan ku soo gabagabaynayaa barakallahu fiikum wassalaamu alaykum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh
si aan not only inaan u xasuusano but at the same time dadkii naga dhintay aan tusno inay dad lagu qaaliyihiin and also it's inspiring to come together to express our condolences and sincere gratitude sympathy to all the people that were affected by the 14 October tragedy. Our feelings are shared by all the diaspora. With every hour that passes, the scale of tragedy that grows and the need to stand against terror becomes even more vital. Anti-tribalism movement in Somalia has been doing some work around extremism to prevent youth in joining Al-Shabaab. We run few campaigns and actions that counter tribalism, violence, and extremism. Saturday's attack was the deadliest in the history of Somalia. We are appalled by this unjustifiable act of terror on 14 October. And to know that almost all the victims were ordinary civilians. Many of them were women, children, and that itself underlines the sheer evilness and moral bankruptcy that inspired such mass murder. Sidoo kale dadkeena Soomaalida waxa wanaagsan in aan isweydiino intaan joognaa maalin Ilaahay keeno dad baa dhinto waa la isku yimaadaa waa laga hadlaa waa laga tagaa condolence iyo tacsi iyo ma shaqeynayso waxa wanaagsan in aan isweydiino diaspora intii joogno maxaan sameyn karnaa waxyaalaha sameyn karnaa waxa kamid ah inaan local MPga oo anagu leenahay inaan la hadalno ku dhahno dad baa naga dhimanayo issue-gan ma ahan issue yar waxa wanaagsan inaad baarlamaanka raisgareysiin inaad u sheegtiin oo pressure asaartiin dawladda lacag badan baa Soomaaliya lagu bixiyaa waxa bixiya difid lacagay bixisana waxay sheegtaan inay Soomaaliya u bixisay inay security laga dagaalamo waxay sheegtaa development in lagu bixiyo marka waxaan jeclaan lahayd dadkeena diasporada waxyaalo badan baan sameyn karnaa si aan issue-gan aan u yareyno uu meesha noogu joogsado marka waxaan jeclaan lahaa inaad qof walba waxaad Soomaaliya u sameyn kartid adigoona xagga tagin inta ka sameyn
Thank you very much for your kind words, Abdul. Next up, we have a bit of a personal touch to the event tonight, and we have someone whose own family member, his father, was an MP in Somalia, and he died in an attack from Al-Shabaab. His name is Mohammed, so if you guys could all give him a big hand and welcome him to the stage.
Firstly, I would like to thank Councillor for bringing everyone here. This is short notice. I didn't even know I was going to come on the stage. And Wallahi, to be honest with you, it's very good to see everyone together. That's the main important thing that we have, because for youth, a Somali youth, you know, you can't even go back home. Wallahi, when you are told, I want to go Somali, you say, I want to go Somali, you can't even go back home. You are told you can't. Why? Because it's not safe. You can't even go back home. You cannot go outside and look and see your fellow Somalis. That doesn't make sense. You can't. It's impossible. It's a dream. Wallah, I wish to go home, but I can't. And yes, my father was killed. And I was angry. Wallah, I was angry at first, but you have to get over that anger. But what's next? You have to think, what's next? How are we going to solve this issue? How are all of us going to come together? And I think, to be honest, I think this, I think the youth, I think we should all focus on the youth. I think because someone mentioned 70% of Somali population is the youth. It's under 25, under 30. And by giving the youth more opportunities, you can create a generation who will create progress, who will develop the country, who do not care about Qabil. It's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. It's killing our country. So I think, you know, Odayasha and I think, you know, Odayasha and Datka, or the elders, I think, you know, the Somali elders and Odayasha and, you know, Datka or Masajid and all of the people, Wallah, I think they can help us. Those people who think clearly, who have a clear strategy, they can help us, educate us youth. Tell us, teach us about Somalia. We don't know. Wallah, some of us, we don't know. Some of us can't even speak the language. So we need as much help as we can, you know, so we can, when we go back home, we have a plan, we can do something. So inshallah khair, you know, I'll leave you all with what I've said, and inshallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much for that impromptu speech. Those were, you could tell when someone's words are coming from their hearts, and you know, sometimes you don't need to prepare a speech or anything like that, because hearts speak to hearts. And I was told that I didn't introduce him properly. His full name is Mohammed Gore, so apologies about that. Okay, so next up we have Sheikh Ibrahim Musa. So if we can all welcome Sheikh Ibrahim Musa to the stage with a big hand.
waxaa la yidhi ka hadal as the peace, Islam is the peace, the religion of peace. But what they say, the Islam religion of peace, the Islam religion of love, the Islam religion of mercy. And when we say the Islam religion of peace, Allah is saying in Holy Quran, ayah, a lot of people they know, anyone who kill someone without reason, as he killed the whole mankind. That's Islam what they say. What about the people who kill the innocent people, the children, the elderly people, the woman, without any reason, and they kill in the name of Islam? What kind of Islam? Islam is say anyone who killed the person, he killed the humanity. And opposite, anyone who saved one life, as he saved the humanity, all the mankind. That's the real Islam. But the Islam, the people who killed in the name of Islam, the Islam fake, and no any connection of the Islam, no any related to the Islam. That is what we say the Islam of the religion of peace. When we say the Islam of the peace of love, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, if you want to love each other, afshu salam. Salam. The mean anyone when he came to you, and anyone when you meet him, say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That is mean the peace be upon you. And say, if you say assalamu alaikum, you will gain charity. If you gain assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you will get 20 charities. If you get assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, you will get 30 charities. So that means the Islam encourage them, the peace. The Islam is against the hateness. And it's just when you say assalamu alaikum, you say just assalamu alaikum. The person you say assalamu alaikum because you don't have any hateness in your heart, but you like them. And just note that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you meet someone, just the smiling is the charity. Smiling, yeah. And he say, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you not give them all the people when you wish it, your wealth, you can't distribute it, you can't give them everybody what you like for the money, your money, but you can. Okay. You can give them the smiling. Instead of money, you can give them a smiling. Okay. wuxuu leeyahay nabigu calayhi salaatu wasalaam, haddaad doonaysaan inaad jeclaataan waa inaad salaanta isku badisaan, waa inaad dadka walaalada xitaa ma aha markii aad qaabilayso, wuxuu ku yidhi nabigu dadka uma qaybin kartaan maalkiina idinkoo jecel inaad u qaybisaan, laakiin waa inaad u qaybisaan muusoodka, aduu muusooman. Islaamku waa diinta ka yeeshay qofku inuu muusooda sadaqa ka yeeshay. marka islaamku waa sidaa. marka waxa weeye hadda waxaan rabay inaan mid walba ka hadlo, highlight aan ku sameeyo peace of love, peace of mercy, and Islam, peace, the religion of peace, religion of love, religion oo waxa weeyaan jacayl. waxaasoo dhan marka waxaa la leeyahay waqti ma haysid. waxaan ku soo koobaynaa de waxaan sidii loo sheegay aan ognahay, islaamku wuxuu noo sheegay halkii qof dilay dadka oo dhan inuu dilay, halkii qof nooleeyana dadka oo dhan inuu nooleeya. marka islaamku waa ka runtii waa sidaa. islaamkana ay shabaab hayso waa islaam aan jirin oo islaamka lagula dagaalamayo. marka islaamka saxda ah waa inaan fahno oo ku dadaalo oo yacni dadka inaan lagu khaldin generationka cusub iyo jiilkan cusub in diinta waxba ka ogeyn in loo sheego oo qof waliba faafiyo inuuna kaas islaam ahay uu been yahay oo bad islaamku lagula dagaalamayo inuu yahay. inta ayaan ku soo koobaya. Wassalaamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So next up we have Miss Faima Hersi. So if you can all give Miss Faima Hersi a big hand, and welcome her to the stage.
When we say these ongoing terrorist attacks will never stop, but I see hope in the young eyes of the Somali boys and girls that are currently suffering. Today I speak to the youth, the bright ones, that will oversee our country. Never have a negative mindset, induce generalized anxiety disorders. What I say is to live life. To the children, you're not forgotten, and we're here to show our solidarity and our support. And I would like to thank everyone here to show your support of the sad tragedy that happened in Somalia. Thank you.
Next up we have the former Prime Minister of Somalia, Noor Hassan Hussein, also known as Noor Adde. So if you can give him a big welcome.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. دمان وسلامتين وأنا كفر أحسن هاي كل شركة قيمة له أو أي صوت دياريين كان كنتي يعني أدمود إنه حلوين إسكسارين بردو سيدي محوها ومبدأ لو درين سيل هاي dhibaatadii ka dhalatay ama dhibaatadii ka dhacday muqdisho 14 Oktoobar oo ahayd runtii dhibaato weyn marka loo fiiriyo yani waxa dhacay qarax waa dhici jiray laakiin qaraxan wuxuu ahay mid aad iyo aad uga duwan wixii hore u dhici jiray waa ka duwanay waa ka weynay waxa suurtagalaysay meesha uu ka dhacay qarax meel yani aad uga fog inay guriyihii ku dumeen oo dhibaatooyin ka dhaceen oo la isbuurtay marka aad iyo aad ayaa runtii wax looga xumaaday ay tahay argagixiso waa dhacday waana dhacdaa laakiin tan maalintaas dhacday 14 bishii Oktoobar waxay ahayd runtii mid aan hore uga dhici jirin ama Muqdisho ama Soomaaliya guud ahaan waxaan rajaynaynaa howlaha yani arrimaha argagaxa kulley dowladda Soomaaliyeed walow ay weli cusub tahay oo sanad uusan u dhamaanin laakiin haddana dadaal badan waa wadaa waana ku dadaalaysaa laakiin waxaa loo baahan yahay shacabka Soomaaliyeed meel kasta uu joogo hadduu joogo gudaha iyo hadduu joogo dibaddaba in lagu dadaalo tala laysu siiyo laysu naxo muxuu ahay yani qofka dhibaatada ku dhacday hadduu Soomaaliya gudaheeda joogana qofka dibadda joogo Soomaaliga inuu la xanuunsado oo maaragtay runtii la qaybsado xanuun ku dhaca waqtiga ayaa aad u yar sidii muuqata aad iyo aad u mahadsantihiin raalli ahaada waa soo gaabinayaa haddaa iyo ogolaatid marka waan idin salaamaya waana
mahadsantahay waxaan ficilnaa af Soomaaliya xiriirintana ka sameeyo oo isku tishaaminaya laakiin ay go'sinaya hadda waxaa ku xigo sahal yahay chairman of Gashan Foundation so hadda uu sacbi kirtiin sahal
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. First of all, I have to thank Allah. And after that, I would like to thank the organizers of this an important event. I have seen three unique things that I would like to share with you. First of all, the unique relationship between Somali community in this part of London and their council is absolutely something never seen anywhere else. The second thing, as a student who himself went to Brunel University to study English literature, I was stunned by the power of Huda to use pathetic fallacy. It is kind of literature that people use and she used that literature talking to Somalia as if it were a living thing. When you talk to objects and plants, and you give to human attribute, you are passing a very powerful literature. So we thank Allah, and I encourage her to continue doing that. One thing I would like to say is that I'm not a poet, but I sometimes compose. And I gave one to my daughter, who used it wisely. This evening, because some of the dignitaries are no longer with us, I wish I could thank them in their presence, but I would hope that the Councillor Rakhia would pass it. I would like to thank the warm welcome of their leader and the wishes of the mayor. It's absolutely something that we all have to be thankful. The poem is about peace. My place of birth once was a paradise, an unimaginable beauty and palace of excellences, where all living in had things they desire, wealth and power, till all got snatched away. Good things got destroyed and bad ones took over. Hope being replaced by despair, happiness by sorrow. Normal vision got blurred, and my nation lost sight. Friends turned into enemies, and enemies into friends. Brother on brother fights was routine to stick to. Bullets and shells flew over places, and people got dispersed. Men separated from their women, and babies from their mummies. My whole place was either dead or dying, dark and desolate. My nation's body began to bleed to death, but seconds before, good friends came to rescue. My nation's body resuscitated and revived. My heart is put back into action. What we need is one message. We all come and talk. What we need is to make good use of things that are available, like the readiness and the willingness of this council to help the community it represents. What we need more than anything is British skills and resources to fight the urban guerrilla warfare that Somalia alone cannot fight. The modus operandi the Shababis use is to bomb densely populated areas and to substitute governments in rural areas. We need to come together, as my friends who spoke here said. One thing can help us is unity. You have to put the divisive tribalist ideology into the rubbish bin and unite. We are one people, and I wish you good luck.
I'm just waiting for a word from the workers, but I just wanted to share that our message tonight has strongly been unity. And I know there's Somali Mahmah where it said that so it's important for us to unite together and work together. So next up we have Sheikh Mohammed Dishek from Al Risala Masjid. So if you can give him a big hand.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله ثناء لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم وفقنا لما تحبه وترضاه اللهم وفقنا التوفيق جميعا حاول واحد بدن بهاد لي لكن مقع إلهي حسن رسولك عليه الصلاة والسلام وينقو يريد مرك إلهي أن نود بداف مصيبة وين با سومالي كون عادي midba midda kale ka dambaysa ay ka sii daraysay maartay marka ilaahay ummadda Soomaaliya waxaan uga baryaynaa inuu ilaahay insha Allah taala dhibkaas uu ka qaado maartay culimadu waxay yiraahdaan ilaahay shar oo mahdi ah shar oo pure ah ilaahay ma abuuro sharka khayr baa la socdo hadda dhib weyn baa dhacay shar weyn baa dhacday laakiin ilaahay ma hadiis waxay ifafaala soo bixisay in dadkii walaalaha Soomaalida oo kala irdhoobay inay isu soo noqdaan inay isu danqadaan الحمد لله رب العالمين إلا ساوث أفريقيا إلا تنزانيا يوغندا كينيا يوروب مريكان ميل والبا ودنكي قديهيسي إنay dadkii isu danqadaan maanta waxyaabaha dhacay runtii waad yaabaysaa anigu wax igu darnaa waxay ahayd cunug yar oo iskool loo diray oo garowe hooyadiis waxay soo siisay hal nacnac chocolate yar bay soo siisay iskuulkii baa wax laga ururinayay dadkii walaalahooda xamar ku dhibka gaaray baa loo ururinayay wuxuu yidhi lacag ma haysto shokolaatadana haystaaye shokolaatadan walaalayaha loo geeyey culummadii meesha ka soo qaaday gargaarkii meesha ka soo qaaday shokolaatadii way soo qaadeen xamar bay keeneen gabar yaroo agoon ah bay siiyeen marka runtii waxa weeye arrintaas waxay ku tusaysaa shucuurta dadka walaalaha ma dhiman walaalnimadii soomaalinimadii ma aysan dhimanin insha allahu tacaala waan ka soo qabsanaynaa وانا ان شاء الله تعالى وان مقاعدين حال جري انت انا هدا انا ان كفي عم غاري دونا لكن waxa loo baahan yahay dad u kaca runtii waxa weeye man lam yashkur an-nas lam yashkur Allah qofkan dadka u mahadinin ilaahi uma mahadinin runtii culimadii Soomaaliya wadanka joogtay iyo kuwii dibadda joogtay aad bay u shaqeeyeen dhalinyaradii aad bay u shaqeysay xaafad ba albaabada loo garaacay هذا الحمد لله ودن كان هذا إنجليز جوجنو أنا ما دي ضد كي سوالف عاد بيوقعين لأن يلا الجامعة هذه أو هل كان وحي سميين إسكوهر بيسميين أيام هرو وحي مريسي مكان يقولن بيسي لحدن كن أو باون لأن يلا كريا إسكا أروس لحدن كن أو باون لأن يلا عن الشقينين أو جامعات دكتور أرضية وحي أيكو بهناي نبتو بهناي دي ولا هذا يقول دقيقين مارت runtii waxyaabahaas iyo waxyaabo kale badan oo maartay lagu tilmaami karo miracle mucjiza yani qofka inuu dareenkaas inta uu ku jirto maartay insha Allah taala ilaahay dadkaas soo celiyo ilaahay baan dadka u baryeynaa insha Allah taala ilaahay ummadda Soomaaliyeed maartay walaalnimadoodii iyo wanaagoodii iyo dantooda inay gartaan ilaahay noo aqbal insha Allah taala barakallahu fiikum aad ku dheeray
So هذا صاحب بن عبد الله يعيسى.
aniga waxaan u xil saaranahay qaybta la yiraahdo tacsiyeenta ugu horeyn waxaa mahado idil ay u sugnaatay Ilaahay subxaanahu wa ta'ala waxaan isku dayayaa in aan maaragtay af Soomaaliga maaragtay 100% aan hal eray inaan soo gelin amba Carabi ha noqoto ama Ingiriis ha noqoto mahado idil waxay u sugnaatay ugu horeyn Ilaahay subxaanahu wa ta'ala halkan nagu kulmiyay maanta nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wuxuu yiri calaamadaha markuu ka hadlayay mu'miniinta lagu yaqaano marka wuxuu dhahay dadka mu'miniinta oo Ilaahay subxaanahu wa ta'ala aaminay waa hal jasad marka hadii oo qof kamida xanuun oo dareemo waa isu naxariisanayaan waa isu tacaatufayaan taa maanta halkan ayaa daliil u ah gabdhaha annaga oo arintan soo abaabulay waxay muujiyeen runtii xadiiska nabiga sallallahu alayhi wasallam ugu horantii waxaan u mahadnaqayaa walaasheen Rakiya iyo walaasheen Jamila runtii waa howl weyn oo anagoo dhan nagala rabay laakiin ayaga ayaa mas'uuliyadaas qaatay meeshan ee wax ka dhaceen muddo 7 bil ka hor waa meeshan ka shaqeynay aniga runtii halkan markaan jaamacadda ka baxayaan Soomaaliya ku noqday waxaan soo joogay taqriiban 1 sano iyo 6 bil ku dhawaad 1 sano afan ku dhawaad 1 sano maraba inaan ku dheeraado runtii waa yar yahay qof cabiri kara wixii ka dhacay meesha iyo meesha sida dadka u buuxeen waxaan idin cadeynayaa meesha dad dawladda ka shaqeeyo inaysan joogin dad shacab ah jooga kaliya marka Ilaahay subxaanahu wa ta'ala waxaan weydiinayaa dadka inuu qabriga u waasiciyo aniga inaan duceeyo ehel umihi laakiin waxa lagu qoray maaragtay tacsiyeenta Ilaahay subxaanahu wa ta'ala quraanka wuxuu ku dhahay wala nabluwannakum بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين. إلهي سبحانه وتعالى مركو أمد امتحانا قفبا إلهي وحكو امتحانا يا إيمان كوذا ميشو لإيك ياكو أنك هذا مصيبة وحانوكو امتحاني دتك للانا بلا معنى مركو إلهي وحان وهرينتي إنه مصيبة دا نغسارو وحان فرين أدرى يا دمان ولا لها قعنتكو هايو جارتيسكا رالي هذا أورودان ماركت العجاها أوريو فنريسنج سميه إن أي وذا الشقيان سي مركا ماركتي دتكو ذا يدلكو ذا وحي وقبتان ومهتسنتين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عاو وحان كهذا اللي من وحان كهذا اللي هرمرين سوماليا وحان كهذا اللي إن لفت التمو فكرة الشباب في كندي عاو مرة بينا ماشي تمادين وهذا كله بحي وحلا كهرباء فعل وحلا ربا إن دتكن ولا لهن وسومالي جوجان إن العاوزين هذا العكو عاونيسين pledge fund بنانكا كهريسين please donate صدقة هذا العكت هذا ما يرين يسوي بدرسان صدقة العكت ما كاير يسوي يكون بدرسان سو حلا كهربين وحلا كهرباء فعل عدول بالعكو هيستا وحيرو هيستا هدو لو باني هدو شن باني هدو كل باني هي وحا كريسين ونسو ديبا إن شاء الله إلهينا أجرها كاسيو إنا ماشي نسكت مادين إن شاء الله سو هذا وحا كسوق بقبين يا عاو أبنت كينا مراقيو يو جمال
وكما سنتي مانتي ما شهاد هكذا سويت مادين مسوا أجيبتين invitation كيني إلهي أجر بدها تعالى كسيو أنت كدب هذا كقدام بيبان كجرنا horta galbur foundation oo aan secretary ka ahay waa charity u kacay in dalka gudaha iyo dibadda labadaba wax ka qabto si gaar ah waxaan halka uga qabanaa dhalinyarada xaggaasna waxaan uga qabanaa masaakiinta dhibaatada hadda dhacday dadkay ku dhacdo kaleeto si specificna waxaan la shaqeynaa caruurta oo agoonta iyo dadka disableka marka please donate sida baay sheegtay gabadha yarta habarta ay sheegtay waxa kale oo aan si gaar ah rabaa inaan ugu mahadceliyo dhammaan horta inta timid سيجارة وحنا معنا مدحضة وجوه الرئيس ولا شيء راخية لا خير هسي شقب بدن بغبتي ماشينا إذا متقانا قد إذا عاوسي إذا نسوكين يرتي إذا لنا عيقتها ما شاء الله إله سبحانه وتعالى أجر بدن لك سي قلبنا متقانا وحي استاج تسير قلتينا إذا كان عن حقول إذا أنا سيجارة وما هالعلنا يا إن الرسالة ماسك ما شاء الله wax badan maanta masaajidkii mataqaana ay ka iga caawiyo inay ogeysiyaan iyo donationkii refreshmentiga hadda arkaysaan marka ilaahay subxaanahu wa tacaala ajar badan ka siiyo waan uga mahadcelinayaa waxaa kaloo iyadana donation iga soo gaaray 500 oo baan ah city educators oo ah tuition Soomaali badan wax baro oo ku yaalo westiga marka aad baa iyagana uga mahadcelinayaa sida ikhbaar ma joogo maantay wuxuu yiri Soomaali iga gaarsii in tacsida idin taalo waana ka xumahay waana jeclahay dadka Soomaaliyeed inaan markasta aan caawiyo waxa kale oo iyadan maxaa celinayaa sahal oo asna ma sha Allah meel fog nooga yimid ilaa khayr hasiyo oo runtii halkaan meel fog soo ka yimid waliba aad iiga caawiyay encouragement badan igiliyay ilaa khayr hasiyo dadku waa badan yahay kulli ma mari karo laakiin si gaar ah waxa ii taabtay gacan qabashadii aan ka helay Ibrahim Cusmaan iyo charity-giisa oo runtii igu caawiyay inaan arintan maanta aan meesha u fadhino suurto gashay kulli dhamaantiin aad iyo aad baan ugu mahadcelinayaa waxaana jeclahay inaad qarab istaagtaan dhacdadan maanta dhacday oo aan dadka tusno Ilaahay subxaanahu wa tacaala inuu marna raali ka ahayn inaan dulmiga isku fiirsano waa ma santihiin sida sheegtay balajka gaas u yaala special organizationada waxa jeclaanahay inay balaj ma sameeyaan memberska meesha ku gura kartaan ku gura kulan dambana insha Allah waan rajaynayaa aad baan u ma santihiin wassalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh aan waa laga fiican yahay hadalka mid Soomaali wala mid English marka raala hada marka raaqiyaan ku wanaajina insha Allah
waxaan aad iyo aad ugu mahadcelinayaa walaasheen in jamaat aad فكرتني إذا إلتني إذا أدو مهد علينا وإن آد يآد أفر فرعون إن بدن بنا قاني إسلنتن آد بي والدين تا سومالي دي وجود داشا مركا دارك تقف ولا الكايو سوماليا أو سفي عن تدكيسي وشقينيا inaad qacan siisa mooye aniga wax kale ilama gudboona marka u horeysa iyada 1 iyo 2 iyo 3 ba aad ma hadawle mar labaadna kulligiin inta meesha joogta ma kala saari karo aad iyo aad baan idinku mahad celinayaa waqtigiina qaaliga ah ina u soo hurteen oo u timaadeen oo ka soo qayb gasheen xafladan ay ku garab taaganahay walaaladeena Soomaaliyeed ambaba maatida Soomaaliyeed ee Soomaaliya ku dhintay ee Muqdisho ku dhintay Muqdisho ku dhintay iyo particularly aad iyo aad ilaahay samriye iimaan haynaga siiyo family ka baxay halkan Islington iyo familiyadii badnaa ku wada dhintayba ilaahay u naxariisto waxaan aad u aqaano la shaqayn jiray adigu ilaa malaha 16 sanadood horteed guure marka aad iyo aad baan uga naxay inuu dhintay ilaahay baan u qoray allah u naxariisto waan ku farxay laakiin caawo inuu inankiisii halkan inala joogo ka hadlay ilaahayna khayr haynaga wada siiyo waxaan Soomaalida aad iyo aad ugu sheegaya laakiin waliba ragga waxaana u badantiin caawo waa rag dunida waa la isfahmaa dialogue baa lagu kala socdaa marka bal Soomaaliya hadaa joogtaan iyo hadaa halkan joogtaan ba anigu idin kala ma gabanaya hadalka dhibaatada u weyn ina dhex taala ma wada shaqaynaysaan wada shaqeeya caruurteeni dhibaatada ugu weyn haysataa waxa weeyaan sida Soomaaliya aynu ga nimi 30 sanadood oo dhowdhowe dagaalka xun uga soo dhacay dhibaatada uga soo dhacday tan weyn kala qarsoonahay oo mooyaane inakoo soo noolo taagan ba inamedeeni amba ay jeelalka ka buuxaan amba midiyo amba darag koona ku haystaan waxaasina waxay ka alifaya waxa weeyaan gurigii ragga Soomaaliyeed amba sheekh amba shariif ayna haano amba academic ayna haano caruurteena ay hoos ugu fiirsano waxa weeyaan waxaan u ooyeynaa caawa dhibaatadii xamar ka dhacday dadka xamar al-shabaab bay isku sheegay aniga weybiga la weynta arintani al-shabaab runtii dadka al-shabaab lagu sheegay wax eriyanaya wax baacsanaya waa dad maskaxdii laga bedelay mar haddii adduunyada maskaxda ilmaha laga bedelo dhibaatada u weyn taala waxa weeyaan ilmahaas kuma tirsana inuu mana tirsana marka bal aan dib iskugu soo noqono xitaa kol weekly uu sheekaysataan sida dhibaatada idin haysata amba halkan idin ka haysata amba wadankii idin ka haysata open dialogue waa inaan sameeynaa insha Allah anu intaas ku soo koobi lahaa waliba gabadhan hudana aad iyo aad baan ugu mahad celinayaa all the speakers caawa joogay telefishinada jooga aad iyo aad baa u mahadsantihiin goobtan markii aan waqti idin hayo aan idin ay available tahay waan idin jooga wixii u baahantiin waxaan ahay qof idin kamida walaashiina ila soo socodsiya dhibaatada ay xalino ubadkeena insha Allah wassalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh